Hello, my name is Linda, also known as Tortajala around the internet, and I love creative journaling and all things stationery. And today I wanted to show a closer look at my two BENU pens that I purchased this summer while on vacation in the US. I already mentioned a bit about these new pens in my previous video, Fountain Pen Chit Chat, but here's a closer look at these two BENU pens. I have the Briolet Luminous Mauve, which is an older model, and then the Euphoria Summer Spritz, which it was just released this summer. And you can see the boxes, they're essentially the same, but the print design on them might be different depending on when the pen was made. The textural pattern is on the Briolet, which is an older model, and then the Summer Spritz is the newer one, so it has like all these drawings of different BENU pens. But because the Summer Spritz is a special release, it also has that super colorful outside paper sleeve, but the inside box is essentially the same. BENU always has like paper packaging, and it is very simple with just like the cartridge inside and the pen inside a little paper pocket. But the idea is that you could recycle everything because it's all paper if you don't keep the boxes of your pens. I actually still have all the boxes of my pens. It's getting a bit crazy because I don't know what to do with them and they're sort of nice. I don't want to throw them away, but I understand like sometimes you have to keep it if you're going to sell it in the future, even though I don't really plan on selling any of my pens. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Do you keep your pen boxes or do you toss them? So, because the Summer Spritz is based on a cocktail, it actually has a printout giving you more information about the cocktail that inspired this pen and also like a drink recipe. But yeah, it's a very good interpretation of this Summer Spritz cocktail that is quite popular here in Italy. Um, and you can see that both BENU pens they are super sparkly. That is obviously a feature of this brand BENU. They have very flashy, glittery, like glam kind of pens. And these are two different models, so you can see that they are quite different in design. The Briolet is like a torpedo shape and it does not post. The Euphoria is more of a classic flat top type of pen shape and it does post, but I do not post it because I think it just becomes too long. And I think that the pen itself is already pretty nicely sized for my hand. I rarely post my pens anyway, unless it's like a pocket pen. So, yeah, the super glittery and glam, it's evident in the material of these pens. I totally love it. It's totally my kind of thing. And the luminous mauve, it actually glows in the dark, the purpley part, which is why it has the name luminous in the name of the pen. Um, but, you know, more than anything, people like the BENU pens because they are so flashy. And I just think it's really fun for the aesthetics. And of course, the pens themselves, they have been very reliable and, work right out of the box for me. So I guess that's why I'm so attracted to the BENU pens. So, just for a little bit of comparison, these pens, I'm going to put them next to some other pens that I have that are pretty classic or common. So at the very top, I have a Coeco Sport in the Bordeaux color. And let me just put the Platinum Preppy up there right next to it. Then we have the BENU Briolet, a Twisby Eco, the BENU Euphoria, and Esterbrook Esty, and then the Leonardo. So I don't have enough space here, so I'm just going to switch things around. The Leonardo is definitely much thicker in terms of the grip area, so you can see there's a major difference. Even though there's such a variety in size, I don't find any problem using any of these pens. So let me go ahead and just speed through the inking of this pens. I have chosen Yamabudo for my Luminous Mauve Briolette pen because I think that the sort of like purpley slash magenta color, sort of a nice match. So I'm just inking it up directly into the converter here, and maybe I should be better about not contaminating my inks, but I'm not great at that. I'm just going to ink that one up first and close it up so that I don't create a mess, because I seem to always create a mess when I am inking up pens. For the BENU Euphoria Summer Spritz, I thought that my KWZ Firecracker ink, which is sort of like sparkly pearly, would be a perfect match. And it honestly is one of like the closest, like coolest matches that I've ever done for like a pen, it feels like. I just love the way that this writes and looks. And so everything is just like perfect. So the Luminous Mauve is actually a number 5 Schmidt nib, and it is in a fine nib. And the BENU Euphoria is a number 6 Schmidt nib, but it is in a medium. So I did get some variety just to shake things up. I do have another BENU pen, which is the Minima, which is like even smaller torpedo shape than the Briolette. And spoiler alert, I actually ordered another BENU pen. So you can see that I am really happy with my pens. I know that they're just Schmidt nibs. I mean, it's not super necessarily special, but I've never had a problem with any of these nibs, and they write right out of the box. So I just sort of appreciate that. So definitely I think that the purchase of these pens are more about, the aesthetics and the actual model of pen that you are going for, because you want that pen part of your collection. Um, and the nib, it just sort of is like a constant that works well. In terms of nib size, though, I feel like no matter what company you buy from, sometimes the nib size, it just varies. And I think that that is just a feature of what happens with nibs. So you can see here, this is my BENU Minima, and it is also a fine, but it seems much thicker than the Luminous Mauve fine. Maybe it's the ink, but these are like diamine inks, pilot inks. I mean, I don't think they are very odd. I just think that when it comes to nibs, there's like a low tolerance for variation, because obviously like a millimeter is too much, right? Because nibs are so fine already. So I just feel like sometimes when you get a pen, you could buy the same pen in the same nib size, and sometimes there's going to be like a slight variation in the actual line width. It's never going to be like perfect and always the same. I suppose that is why nibmeisters, like, it's such a necessary, job, not only to get things to be like what you expect, but also to grind a nib specific to like the angle in which you write and the way that you use a pen, because we all hold a pen so differently. The nib grinding, that is something that I have not ventured into yet, but I hope that one day I would be able to do that, maybe going to in-person events, because I feel like it's an experience that you sort of need to do in person, like really to understand, and to get like that service, you know what I mean? So here I'm just sharing like quick little snippets of me writing with the pen, um, longer form in terms of like a little paragraph so that you could see. Um, Obviously, I don't have like the best penmanship at all, and I probably need to work on my camera angles, huh? But yeah, just wanted to show you that they are writing immediately inked and straight out of the box without issue. And, from a number 5 Schmidt nib to a number 6 Schmidt nib, no issues. And again, this color, the KWZ, all that glitters firecracker, it seems like a perfect match for the BENU Euphoria Summer Spritz. Like, I really, really enjoy this. And the medium nib just seems like perfect in terms of not being too fine, but not being like too like markery, when you still want to write on, regular sort of journaling like a regular journaling size. But yeah, so those are my two new pens. I am very happy with these acquisitions, and it just seems like I cannot get enough of BENU pens. And they definitely have been releasing so many cool designs. So they're definitely still on my list in terms of my wish list, and we will see what happens in the future. So thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate you being here and supporting. Let me know what you think of these pens. Did you also buy them as well, or do you have another BENU pen that is your favorite? If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more stationery videos. Thanks so much. I wish you a very lovely day, and until next time, bye.